Does this woman from down there
New Zealand.
New Zealand,
Right.
know about the American West?
I'm sorry, he was being a little bit of a bitch, and I'm sorry to say it, but he's not a cowboy, he's an actor.
Does this woman from...
Who, Jane Campion?
Yeah. She's a brilliant director,
Yeah.
by the way. I love her work,
Right.
previous work.
Sure.
Creation of the American West. I mean, they made it look like, what are all those dancers, those guys in New York that wear bow ties and not much else?
Sam Elliott, the rugged cowboy of Hollywood, just stepped in it big time. His comments about the power of the dog set off a firestorm that's got everyone talking.
And cowboys in that movie looked like.
Uh-huh.
They're all running around in chaps and no shirts. There's all these allusions to homosexuality.
Yeah.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video, but here's the real kicker. Is Elliott just saying what others are thinking, or did he cross a line that'll cost him his career? Picture this, Sam Elliott, the gravelly voiced cowboy we all know and love, sitting down for what should have been a chill chat on Mark Maron's podcast. But things took a wild turn when the topic of the power of the dog came up. Elliott didn't hold back, calling the movie a piece of shit and comparing the cowboys to Chippendale's dancers.
Mark Maron, as he gave his WTF reaction to 12-time Oscar nominee The Power of the Dog, directed by Jane Campion.
He even took shots at director Jane Campion, questioning what a New Zealander knows about the American West.
Does this woman from down there
New Zealand.
New Zealand,
Right.
know about the American West?
Now, this wasn't just some random actor mouthing off. We're talking about Sam Elliott here. The guy's been the face of Westerns for decades. He's even the voice of those tough Ram truck commercials. People respected him, looked up to him. So when he started ranting, folks sat up and took notice. But man, did it backfire. Social media exploded faster than a stick of dynamite in an old Western. Celebrities and fans alike were calling Elliott out left and right. They weren't having any of his outdated views. People were throwing around words like homophobic and sexist like they were going out of style. Why did Elliott's comments hit such a nerve? Well, Hollywood's been trying to shake off its old, white, male-dominated image for a while now. And here comes this icon of classic Westerns basically saying, stick to the old ways. It was like he stepped right into the middle of a culture war without even realizing it. The backlash was brutal and swift.
Creation of the American West. I mean, they made it look like, what are all those dancers, those guys in New York that wear bow ties and not much else?
1 minute, Elliott's a beloved actor. The next, he's Hollywood's biggest villain. It's like he went from hero to zero faster than you can say yeehaw. Suddenly, appearances were getting canceled. His social media was flooded with angry comments. Even his old Ram truck ads started looking a bit different in people's eyes. But this wasn't just about Elliott anymore. It became a whole thing about representation in Westerns, about who gets to tell what stories. People were asking, do Westerns have to be all macho cowboys and gunslingers?
Man, there's new generations of kids that don't even know what a guy on a horse looks like.
Some folks were defending Elliott, saying he had a right to his opinion. Others were saying it's high time for change in Hollywood. So there you have it. Sam Elliott opened his mouth, and suddenly he's at the center of a full-blown Hollywood showdown. But this was just the beginning. The big guns of Tinseltown were about to fire back, and boy, did they have some choice words for old Sam.
But a ranch or pasture or farmhouse in Montana looks exactly the same as a ranch or pasture or farmhouse in New Zealand.
Ever wonder what happens when you piss off some of the most powerful people in show business? Sam Elliott was about to find out. From A-list actors to acclaimed directors, Hollywood's elite weren't shy about putting Sam in his place. But here's the kicker. All this drama might have actually helped the very movie Sam was trashing. Jane Campion, the director of The Power of the Dog, didn't pull any punches. At the Directors Guild Awards, she fired back at Elliott, calling him a little bit of a beat. Ouch. She even pointed out that Elliott's not a real cowboy, just an actor.
I'm sorry, he was being a little bit of a bitch, and I'm sorry to say it, but he's not a cowboy, he's an actor.
Talk about hitting where it hurts. Campion wasn't having any of Elliott's macho nonsense, and she made sure everyone knew it. Benedict Cumberbatch, the star of the film, took a different approach. He called Elliott's comments very odd and pointed out a bigger issue. There's still a ton of intolerance towards gay people out there.
So there's Benedict Cumberbatch in The Power of the Dog. There's Jesse Plemons in The Power of the Dog. Sam compares them to the Chippendale.
Cumberbatch was basically saying, hey Sam, wake up and smell the 21st century. He made it clear that Westerns don't have to be all about straight tough guys anymore. This whole mess got people talking about representation in Westerns.
What occurs that could this be a film that would be an Academy competitor or not? You know, you sort of know whether there's any chance at all.
Should these movies only show one type of cowboy? What about all the other people who were part of the Old West? It's like Hollywood was having this big fight about who gets to tell these stories. You had the old guard, guys like Elliott, trying to keep things the way they've always been. But then you've got all these new voices saying, hold up, we've got stories to tell too. And get this, all this drama actually helped The Power of the Dog. The movie ended up with 12 Oscar nominations. 12! It's like every time Elliott opened his mouth, the film got another nod.
And the West is a mythic space, and there's a lot of room on the range.
Room on the Range.
Campion even won Best Director. It's almost like the Academy was saying, take that, Sam. The movie didn't just clean up at awards shows. All this controversy got people talking, and you know what they say, there's no such thing as bad publicity. More folks were checking out the film to see what all the fuss was about. It's like Elliott accidentally became the movie's best promoter.
Is this woman from...
Who, Jane Campion?
Yeah. She's a brilliant director,
Yeah.
by the way. I love her work.
Right.
Previous work.
Sure.
So there you have it. Sam Elliott thought he was taking down some artsy Western, but he ended up shaking up all of Hollywood. He went from respected actor to the poster boy for outdated views faster than you can say yeehaw. But this story's not over yet. Elliott's got some explaining to do, and people are waiting to see if he can put his foot back in his boots instead of his mouth.
Were you surprised by Sam Elliott's comments?
I think Sam, look, what can I say?
So Sam Elliott finally said sorry. He admitted he messed up big time with his comments about The Power of the Dog. He wasn't very articulate, he said. No kidding, Sam. He even apologized to the cast, especially Benedict Cumberbatch. But here's the thing, is it too little, too late? This whole mess left a mark on Elliott's career, no doubt. But it's not just about him. It's got Hollywood thinking hard about diversity in Westerns. Like, can we have gay cowboys? Can a woman direct a Western? Seems like the answer's yes, whether old-timers like it or not. But here's the million-dollar question. Where's the line between speaking your mind and just being a jerk? Hollywood's walking a tightrope between free speech and not offending anyone. It's messy, it's complicated, and it's got everyone on edge. What's next? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. The Wild West of Hollywood just got a whole lot wilder.